Staying focused is one of the most powerful skills you can develop, and it's something that can truly change the direction of your life. Imagine what you could achieve if you could stay focused every day, blocking out distractions and staying on track with your goals. Whether you're trying to build a career, grow your business, or improve your personal life, staying focused is key to making progress. Yet, it's not always easy. The world is full of distractions that pull our attention in every direction. But what if you could master the art of focus and turn that skill into a tool that drives you towards success? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to stay focused, how to push through moments of doubt, and how to turn your daily efforts into real, lasting results. This isn't about being perfect. It's about taking consistent action and staying focused on what matters most. Stick around, because the strategies I'm about to share with you will help you stay on track, overcome distractions, and get closer to achieving your goals, step by step. Chapter 1. If you can't focus, you can't win. Here's why. Success is not a game of luck. It's not about who gets the best opportunities, who has the best background, or who was born into the right circumstances. Success is about something far simpler: how well you can stay locked in on what truly matters. If you can't focus, you can't win. That's the truth. You can have all the potential in the world, but if your attention is scattered, if you're constantly jumping from one thing to the next, if you're always distracted by things that don't move you forward, then you will never reach the level of success you are truly capable of. Look around, and you'll see a world designed to break your focus. Your phone buzzes. Your notifications pull you in. Social media, entertainment, endless distractions, they all compete for your attention, and most people give in without even realizing it. The scary part: they don't even know they're losing. They don't see how much time is slipping away. They think they're busy, they think they're working hard, but in reality they're stuck in a cycle of meaningless distractions. And then years later they wake up and wonder why they never got anywhere. That's the danger of a distracted life. It doesn't just slow you down, it completely steals your future. If you don't control your focus, distractions will control you, and if distractions control you, your dreams will remain just that: dreams. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent. It isn't intelligence, it's focus. Those who win in life aren't the ones who started with the most. They're the ones who stayed focused the longest. They locked in, they eliminated distractions, and they didn't stop until they got what they wanted. That's what it takes. And if you're not willing to develop that level of focus, then you have to accept that you'll always be behind. Every time you break focus, you lose momentum. And momentum is everything. Think about it. Have you ever started something with full energy, full excitement, only to get distracted and never finish it? That's what a lack of focus does to you. It keeps you in a state of starting over and over again. You build up momentum, then you lose it. You start making progress, then you get pulled away. And what happens when you lose momentum? You slow down, you second-guess yourself, you lose motivation, and the longer you stay distracted, the harder it is to get back on track. That's why so many people fail. They never stay focused long enough to actually win. You have to understand, distractions don't just take away your time. They take away your potential. They take away your discipline. They take away the life you could have had if you had just locked in. And the worst part, it happens so subtly that you don't even realize it. You don't notice the time slipping away until it's too late. That's why you have to wake up now. You have to take control now. Because if you don't, nothing will change. People say they want success. They say they want financial freedom. They say they want to be at the top. But when it comes time to actually put in the work, when it comes time to stay focused, they fall apart. They give in to distractions. They take breaks when they should be working. They check their phones when they should be locked in. They chase short-term pleasure instead of long-term success. And then they wonder why they never reach their goals. Let me tell you something. Success isn't just about working hard. It's about working hard on the right things and staying focused long enough to actually see results. If you can't focus, you can't win. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they spend their days mindlessly scrolling through their phones? Do you think they waste their time on distractions? No. They are locked in. They are obsessed with their goals. They have trained their minds to resist distractions, to block out the noise, and to stay focused on what truly matters. That's why they win. And that's why most people don't. So ask yourself, what is your focus worth? Because if you don't take control of it, the world will. Every app, every website, every distraction is designed to steal your attention. And every time you give in, you're giving away a piece of your future. Every moment spent on distractions is a moment you could have spent building your future, developing your skills, or creating something meaningful. And the truth is, most people don't realize how much time they've lost until it's too late. If you want to change your life, you have to change your focus. You have to stop letting distractions win. You have to take back control of your time, your energy, and your attention. And the first step, you need to cut out the noise. Stop letting your phone control you. Stop wasting hours on meaningless activities. Stop jumping from one thing to the next without ever finishing anything. Train your mind to stay locked in. Build the discipline to focus, even when it's hard. Because if you can do that, you will be unstoppable. Understand this. Your focus is the most powerful weapon you have. It determines what you achieve, how fast you grow, and how successful you become. If you can master it, you can master anything. But if you let distractions control you, you will always be behind. This is your wake-up call. Stop letting your potential go to waste. Stop letting distractions steal your future. Make the decision, right now, to take control. Because once you do, everything changes. You want success? Then prove it. Stay focused. Lock in. Do the work. And don't stop until you get what you came for. Because if you can't focus, you can't win. But if you can, there is nothing that can stop you. Chapter 2: Why you keep losing focus and how to fix it. If you keep losing focus, you are losing time. And if you're losing time, you are losing your future. It's that simple. Success isn't about being the smartest, the most talented, or the most privileged. It's about being able to sit down, lock in, and do the work, day after day, without getting pulled away by distractions that don't serve you. The reason you're not where you want to be isn't because you're not capable. It's because you keep letting your focus slip away, and every time you do, you fall behind. Distractions don't announce themselves. They don't knock on your door and tell you they're here to waste your life. They show up disguised as small, harmless things. A quick check of your phone, 5 minutes scrolling through social media, watching just one more video, answering one more message, and before you know it, an hour is gone. A day is gone, a week is gone, and nothing has changed in your life. That's how distractions work. They steal your time without you even realizing it. And the worst part, they make you feel like you're being productive. You think you're learning, you think you're staying updated, you think you're just taking a short break, but in reality, you are losing focus. You are losing momentum. And every time that happens, you make success harder for yourself. If you've ever found yourself starting something with full energy, full commitment, only to lose focus a few days or weeks later, understand this, you're not alone. It happens to almost everyone, but just because it's common doesn't mean it's okay. Every time you lose focus, you're slowing down your progress. Every time you stop and start over, you're wasting valuable energy that could have been used to move forward. And if you keep repeating that cycle, you'll wake up one day and realize you've been running in circles for years, going nowhere. That's why focus is everything. It's the one thing that separates those who win from those who never even get close. Your mind is constantly looking for the easiest path. It doesn't want to stay focused. It doesn't want to do the hard work. It wants comfort. It wants entertainment. It wants instant gratification. And if you don't control it, it will keep pulling you in the wrong direction. That's why you have to take charge. You have to train yourself to resist distractions, to block out the noise, to stay committed even when you don't feel like it. Because if you don't, you will always be at the mercy of your impulses. You will always be controlled by whatever feels good in the moment, instead of what will actually move your life forward. The reason you keep losing focus isn't because you're lazy, it's because you haven't built the discipline to control your attention. And discipline isn't something you're born with, it's something you develop. It's something you train every single day by making small decisions that reinforce your ability to stay locked in. It's about saying no to distractions, not once, but over and over again, until it becomes automatic. Until your default setting is focus, not distraction, until your mind learns that success comes from deep, undivided attention, not from bouncing between 1,000 different things. Right now, the world is competing for your focus. Every app, every platform, every piece of content is designed to pull you in and keep you there for as long as possible. And if you don't fight back, you will lose. You will spend your life consuming instead of creating, watching instead of doing, wishing instead of achieving. That's not the life you want. That's not the life you deserve. But the only way to escape it is to take control of your focus. And that starts with being intentional about how you spend your time. Think about it. How many hours have you lost to distractions this week? How many times have you told yourself you'd focus, only to get pulled away by something meaningless? How much further could you be if you had stayed locked in? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't luck, it's focus. The winners in life are the ones who can sit down, block everything out, and work for hours without breaking concentration. That's the real skill. That's the real superpower. And if you don't develop it, you will always struggle. But the good news, you can change. You can train your mind to focus. You can build the discipline to resist distractions. You can take back control of your time and use it to create the life you actually want. And it starts with small changes. Put your phone on silent when you work. Set a timer and commit to focusing for that entire period. Remove distractions from your environment. Stop multitasking. Learn to sit with discomfort instead of escaping into entertainment. The more you practice, the stronger your focus will become, and the stronger your focus becomes, the faster you'll move towards success. Your future is being shaped by your ability to focus. Every day, you are either getting closer to your goals or further away from them. And if you keep letting distractions win, you will never get where you want to be. But if you make the decision, right now, to take control, to build discipline, to protect your focus at all costs, then nothing can stop you. Success belongs to those who can focus. So take back your attention. Take back your time. Take back your life. Because the moment you do, everything changes. Chapter 3. The truth about success. No one tells you. Success is never an accident. It's the result of deliberate choices, consistent actions, and above all, focus. Focus is the magic ingredient that turns dreams into reality. When you understand the power of focus and commit to it every single day, you unlock a world of possibilities. Now, let's get real. Success isn't a quick fix. It's not something that falls into your lap because you wished for it or because you were in the right place at the right time. Success is built by doing the small, seemingly insignificant things day in and day out. You show up, you focus, and you do the work. And if you're not willing to commit to that, then you've already lost the game. Here's the truth. People who don't succeed aren't necessarily any less capable than those who do. They don't fail because they don't have the ability. They fail because they don't know how to stay focused. The difference between those who get ahead and those who stay stuck comes down to one simple factor. Focus. The successful person can keep their mind locked in on what matters, and they make steady progress towards their goals. It doesn't mean they never get distracted. It means they know how to refocus when they do. They know how to fight through the distractions and stay committed to the process. They don't let the noise of the world drown out their purpose. Now think about it. How many times have you started something with fire in your belly, full of excitement, only to find that a few weeks or months down the road, your motivation starts to fade? You get distracted, you lose steam, and before you know it, you've lost your focus. You fall into the trap of letting life's distractions take over. And that's where most people drop the ball. The key to success is simple but powerful. You've got to keep your focus. You can't let distractions win. You can't let the world pull you away from what matters most. It's time to stop letting your focus slip and start training your mind to stay locked in. Let's talk about why focus is so crucial. When you're truly focused, everything changes. Your productivity skyrockets, your confidence soars, and your results start speaking for themselves. But here's the catch. Focus isn't something that just happens. It's a skill, a muscle that you have to train and strengthen over time. It's not about having more willpower or being lucky. It's about learning to protect your energy, guard your time, and commit to doing what needs to be done, no matter what distractions come your way. Most people aren't focused. They're constantly jumping from one thing to another, bouncing around like a pinball, never really making any progress on the things that matter. They're scattered, uncertain, and unsure of what they really want. They go through their days reacting to whatever comes at them, instead of taking control and creating their own path. They might get a little bit done here and there, but they never really move the needle forward in any meaningful way. If that sounds familiar, it's time to change. The problem isn't that you're not capable. The problem is that you're not focused on the right things. You might be thinking, but there's so much going on in my life. How can I possibly stay focused when there are so many distractions? The answer is simple. You make the decision to focus. You decide that your goals are more important than anything else. You commit to taking control of your time and energy, and you refuse to let anything pull you off course. Yes, it's hard. Yes, there will be days when your mind wants to wander, but you keep going anyway. You don't let those moments define you. This is where most people fall short. They let one little distraction derail them. A bad day, a tough challenge, a moment of doubt, and suddenly they lose focus. They give up, they back down, they quit. But not you. You're different. You've got something special inside of you, and that's why you're here today, watching this video. You want to know the secret to success. Well, here it is. Focus. When you can focus, you'll become unstoppable. When you can focus, nothing will stand in your way. Now here's something that might shock you. Success is never about working harder. It's about working smarter. Focus helps you work smarter, not harder. You can work 12 hours a day, but if you're not focused, it doesn't matter. You're wasting time. You're spinning your wheels. Focus allows you to be more efficient. It helps you cut through the noise and go straight for the prize. Instead of running around trying to do everything at once, focus lets you zero in on the one thing that will move the needle the most. It's about doing less, but doing it better. When you get this right, when you learn to truly focus, you'll start to see a massive shift in your life. Suddenly, things start to fall into place. You start to make progress on your goals every single day. Your work feels lighter because you know exactly what you're doing and why. You stop second-guessing yourself, and you stop letting doubt take up space in your mind. You get more done in less time, and the results come faster. Success doesn't feel as far away anymore. It feels close. It feels possible. But the thing about focus is that it requires you to eliminate distractions. And I'm talking about real distractions, not just the obvious ones like your phone or social media. The most dangerous distractions are the ones that hide beneath the surface. The inner distractions, the negative thoughts, the fear, the doubt. These are the things that really pull you off course. And the sad truth is that most people don't even recognize them. They think their problem is external, but it's actually internal. They're distracted by their own limiting beliefs. They're distracted by the stories they tell themselves about what they can't do. It's time to change that. If you want to focus, you have to change the conversation in your head. You've got to stop letting negative thoughts take over. You've got to stop thinking you're not good enough, or that you don't have what it takes. You have to stop letting fear rule your life. Focus comes when you learn to control your mind. When you learn to ignore the chatter and lock in on what matters most. Here's the thing, staying focused isn't something you do once and forget about. It's a daily practice. Every single day, you have to commit to your goals. Every day, you make the decision to keep your focus sharp. It's like working out. You don't get stronger after one workout. You get stronger over time by showing up every day and pushing yourself just a little bit more. Focus is the same way. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Let me tell you something that can change your whole approach. Focus is not a skill you're born with. It's a skill you develop. And the best part, you can start developing it right now. Right this very moment. All it takes is the decision to stop letting distractions win. It takes a commitment to being present, to being intentional with your time, and to making every single moment count. Once you start doing that, you'll see a whole new level of progress in your life. And here's the final truth. When you master focus, you unlock everything you've ever wanted. Success, happiness, growth. All of it becomes possible. So don't let another day go by without making focus your priority. Because when you focus, you don't just change your present, you change your future. So now it's your turn. What's the one thing you need to focus on right now? What's the one goal that if you focused on it, would change everything? Take a second, commit to it, and get started. The time to focus is now.
Chapter 4. What if I told you focus is a superpower? Focus is power. It's the tool that can reshape your life, turn your dreams into reality, and make success inevitable. But here's the catch. Most people don't realize how powerful focus truly is. They don't see it as a superpower, but that's exactly what it is. When you can master your focus, you can take control of your destiny. Every successful person you admire, every person who has made something extraordinary of their life, has one thing in common: they know how to focus. They don't just get lucky, they stay locked in on their goals, and they keep pushing forward, no matter what.
Focus isn't just something you need for a few hours a day or when things are going well. Focus is what makes people unstoppable. It's what separates those who achieve great things from those who just talk about it. It's the difference between wishing for success and making it happen. When you can truly understand how to harness the power of focus, you unlock a new level of potential within yourself. That's the key to all of it. The focus you cultivate today is the foundation of your future. So let's get into it. Let's talk about why focus is a superpower and how you can tap into it right now. The truth is, the world is full of distractions. Everywhere you turn, there's something vying for your attention. It's easy to get lost in the noise. It's easy to get pulled in a million different directions, and before you know it, you've spent the entire day responding to emails, checking social media, and doing everything except what you set out to do. And the worst part, you might not even realize that it's happening until it's too late. That's the real danger of distractions. They sneak up on you. But here's where focus steps in as your superpower. When you learn to control your focus, you take back control of your time and your life. You stop letting the world dictate your actions, and you start living with purpose. When you focus, you become unstoppable. There's a clarity that comes with focus, a laser-like precision that guides every decision you make. Your mind doesn't wander because it's locked in on the task at hand. And when you're focused, you don't just get things done, you get the right things done. You're no longer wasting time on activities that don't contribute to your goals. You're moving with intention, and that's where the real magic happens. Focus makes everything sharper. It helps you prioritize, eliminate distractions, and move forward with confidence. When you make focus your superpower, you stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. Instead, you channel all of that energy into what truly counts. And that's what leads to results. That's what leads to success. Think about the people who inspire you, the ones who've built businesses, achieved extraordinary things, or created movements that have changed the world. What do they have in common? Yes, they're talented. Yes, they're hardworking. But above all, they're focused. They've mastered their attention, and they've learned how to stay locked in on what's important. It's not about being perfect or doing everything right. It's about staying focused long enough to make progress. That's the key. That's why focus is a superpower. It allows you to get out of your own way, stop second-guessing yourself, and move forward with relentless determination. But here's the kicker. You don't just need focus for the big moments, you need it in the small moments too. The secret to success is not just about having bursts of productivity. It's about being consistently focused over time. It's about making focus a habit, not just a one-time effort. And this is where most people fail. They don't realize that focus is something you need to practice every day. It's something that requires constant effort and constant attention. The more you practice focusing, the stronger your focus becomes, and the stronger your focus becomes, the more you'll achieve. It's a cycle that builds on itself. So if you're serious about success, you've got to make focus a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. Now, let's talk about how you can start tapping into this superpower right now. First, you've got to recognize that your focus is yours to control. If you want to be successful, if you want to make real progress, you've got to stop letting distractions take charge. You've got to stop letting the noise of the world pull you off course. This isn't something that's out of your control. You have the power to decide where your attention goes. You have the power to decide what's important and what's not. But it starts with recognizing that power. The next step is making focus a priority. Focus isn't something that just happens. It's something you have to work for. It requires intention. So start by setting clear, actionable goals. When you have a clear vision of what you want, it becomes easier to focus on it.
It becomes easier to block out distractions because you know exactly what you're working towards. When you know what matters most, everything else fades into the background. That's when you know you're on the right track. Focus helps you stay on course, even when the world around you is trying to pull you in a million directions. And here's the best part: when you start practicing focus, you'll notice a shift. You'll start to see results faster. Things that once felt impossible will suddenly feel within reach. And you'll wonder why you didn't start focusing sooner. That's the power of focus. It magnifies your efforts and accelerates your progress. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about putting your energy into the right things, consistently over time. So if you want to change your life, if you want to achieve everything you've set out to do, start with focus. Commit to it every day. Refuse to let distractions steal your time. Be intentional with your energy. And watch as everything starts to fall into place. Focus is the superpower you've been waiting for, and now it's time to unlock it. Take control of your attention, and you'll take control of your destiny. The choice is yours. So what are you waiting for? Focus is your secret weapon. Use it.
Chapter 5. Most people fail because of this. Don't be one of them. You're standing at the edge of something incredible, something within your reach, but there's one thing holding you back. It's that one simple yet powerful thing that stops so many people from reaching their full potential. The truth is, most people fail not because they don't have talent, not because they lack the drive, but because they don't have the right mindset when it comes to focus. You see, focus is everything. Without it, you're like a ship without a rudder, lost in the sea of distractions, drifting from one thing to another, never really moving forward. The reason most people fail is simple: they let distractions control them. The world is filled with noise, social media, the demands of everyday life, and endless interruptions that seem so urgent, but in reality are just detours. And we're all guilty of it. We check our phones every few minutes, we respond to every message that pings, and we get distracted by things that have no bearing on our long-term goals. But this, my friend, is where most people trip up. This is the reason they don't make it. And it's not because they're incapable, it's because they've allowed distractions to hijack their time, energy, and focus. It's easy to get caught in the cycle of responding to the immediate demands of the day. But the truth is, that cycle will only keep you in the same place. You'll stay stuck in the same routines, the same habits, and nothing will change. That's why so many people never break through to the level of success they dream about. They simply aren't paying attention to the right things. They're distracted by the noise, and in the process, they lose sight of what truly matters. But here's the powerful truth. Once you learn how to block out the distractions and focus on what matters, everything changes. You step into your power. You stop being a passive participant in life and start being an active creator of your reality. The key to turning everything around is recognizing this simple fact: your focus is your most valuable asset. Without it, you can't win. You can't reach your goals. You can't live the life you've been dreaming of. So if you're serious about achieving something great, you've got to learn how to protect your focus. You've got to guard it like it's your most prized possession. And here's the thing: focus isn't something that just happens. It's something you have to actively create and protect every single day. It requires discipline, and that's where so many people fall short. The truth is, most people fail because they don't understand the value of their time and energy. They waste it on things that don't contribute to their success. They waste it on distractions. They waste it on things that only give them temporary satisfaction but don't move them forward in life. And the sad part is, they don't even realize they're doing it. They don't see how their time is slipping away.
They don't realize that every time they give into a distraction, they're giving away their future. The time you spend checking your phone, scrolling through social media, watching mindless TV shows, it all adds up. And before you know it, you've wasted hours, days, and even weeks that you could have spent building your dreams. So what's the solution? How do you stop wasting time and start focusing on what matters? The first step is recognizing that focus is not just about doing one thing at a time. It's about choosing what you do with your time and energy. It's about making decisions that align with your goals, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about saying no to the things that don't serve you. This is where most people miss the mark. They think they can do it all. They think they can juggle a million things at once and still make progress. But the truth is, multitasking is a myth. You can't give your full attention to multiple things at once, and that's why most people fail. They spread themselves too thin. They try to do everything, but they end up doing nothing well. You need to focus on the things that move you forward. You need to focus on what matters most in the long run. And that means saying no to things that don't align with your vision. It's tough, but it's necessary. When you learn to say no to the distractions, you create space for the things that truly matter. You create space for progress. You create space for growth. But it starts with understanding that your focus is a limited resource, and you need to protect it fiercely. The second step is setting clear goals. When you know exactly what you're working towards, focus becomes so much easier. It's when you don't have clear goals that you get lost in the noise. You're unsure of where to direct your energy, so you end up giving it away to things that don't matter. But when you have clear, specific goals, your focus sharpens. Every decision you make is guided by your goals. And when you're clear on your goals, it becomes easier to block out the distractions. You become more intentional with your time and energy. You stop wasting time on things that don't contribute to your success. You stop letting other people's agendas take priority over your own. The third step is creating habits that support your focus. The more you practice focus, the easier it becomes. And the more you practice saying no to distractions, the stronger your ability to stay focused will be. Success is not a one-time event. It's a series of small intentional actions repeated every day. And those small actions add up to big results. So if you want to achieve your goals, you've got to make focus a habit. You've got to make it a part of your daily routine. That means setting aside time each day to work on your goals without distractions. It means setting boundaries around your time and protecting it like it's the most valuable thing you own. Most people fail because they don't make focus a habit. They think they can just flip a switch and suddenly be productive. But focus takes practice. It takes time. It takes commitment. And it takes discipline. But once you make focus a habit, once you learn how to protect your time and energy, you'll see the results. You'll start moving forward in ways you never thought possible. You'll stop getting caught up in the distractions that hold you back. And you'll start seeing progress, day after day. So remember this, the reason most people fail is not because they don't have the potential. It's because they don't have the focus. They let distractions control them, and they waste their time on things that don't matter. But you have the power to change that. You have the power to take control of your focus, and by doing so take control of your life. Start protecting your focus. Start making it a priority, and watch as your life transforms before your very eyes. Success is not a mystery. It's not a matter of luck. It's a matter of focus. When you master that, you master your future. Chapter 6. Why your mind is your worst enemy, and how to fix it. You are capable of far more than you think. But to unleash that potential, there's one thing you need to understand first. Your mind is both your greatest ally and your worst enemy.
Most people don't realize just how much their own thoughts are holding them back. The problem isn't the world around them, it's the battle happening in their minds. The very thing that should be helping them stay on track is often the reason they're stuck, overwhelmed or distracted. If you want to break through to the next level in your life, you have to start by understanding how your mind works and how to master it. This isn't just some motivational fluff. This is the truth that, once realized, will change everything for you. The reason your mind becomes your worst enemy is because it's constantly trying to protect you. That's what the brain is designed to do. It wants to keep you safe, comfortable, and in familiar territory. But here's the kicker: it does that at the expense of your growth. It keeps you stuck in your comfort zone, even though that comfort zone is the very thing preventing you from achieving your dreams. It keeps you in a state of survival mode rather than allowing you to tap into the power of your potential. Every time you try to push yourself towards something greater, your mind fights back. It tells you that you're not good enough, that you'll fail, or that it's too difficult. And all of that self-doubt is not the truth. It's just the mind's way of keeping you in a place where it feels safe. But let me tell you something important. Safety doesn't equal success. Think about it. When was the last time you achieved something amazing while staying in your comfort zone? Never. All of your breakthroughs, all of your growth, happened when you stepped outside of what felt comfortable and took a risk. But your mind doesn't like that. It doesn't like change. It resists anything that feels unfamiliar, anything that feels like it could challenge its sense of control. That's why it sabotages you with doubt, fear, and hesitation. And that's why, for many people, their biggest enemy isn't the competition, isn't the economy, and isn't even the obstacles in their path. It's their own mind. If you can't get your mind on your side, you'll keep fighting a losing battle. Now, how do you fix this? How do you break free from the mental chains that hold you back? The first step is realizing that you are not your thoughts. Just because a thought pops into your head doesn't mean it's true. Just because your mind says you can't do this doesn't mean you have to believe it. The key to breaking free is recognizing that thoughts are just thoughts. They don't define you. You have the power to choose which thoughts you give your attention to, and the ones that are negative, limiting, or self-doubting, you have the power to ignore them. But here's the problem: most people don't know how to control their thoughts. They let them run wild, unchecked. They listen to their minds as if everything that pops into their head is gospel truth. And in doing so, they become slaves to their own mental chatter. But the truth is, you have the ability to override the negative thoughts. You have the ability to choose a different thought, a more empowering thought, and that's how you take control of your mind. When you begin to notice those limiting thoughts, recognize them for what they are: just thoughts. They're not facts. They're not the truth. And when you stop believing them, you start to open up space for more empowering, positive thoughts to take root. The second step in mastering your mind is to start being intentional about what you feed it. Just like your body needs the right fuel to function at its best, your mind needs the right kind of information to operate at its highest potential. If you constantly feed your mind with negativity, doubt, and fear through the media you consume, the people you surround yourself with, or the thoughts you entertain, then that's exactly what you'll get more of. But if you feed your mind with positivity, inspiration, and empowering ideas, that's what will start to shape your reality. This means being selective about what you watch, what you read, and who you spend your time with. If you're constantly surrounded by people who are negative, who are filled with doubt, and who talk about how hard life is, that negativity will seep into your own thinking. But if you surround yourself with people who are positive, who inspire you, and who believe in growth and possibility,
That energy will start to shift your own mindset. The content you consume matters. The conversations you have matter. And the thoughts you entertain every day are shaping the life you're creating. But let me tell you, there's no magic pill here. This takes time. It takes daily effort to shift your mindset and to break free from the negative patterns that have kept you stuck. It's not about ignoring the challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about training your mind to focus on solutions, to focus on possibilities, and to focus on the actions you can take right now to improve your situation. It's about choosing to move forward, even when the negative thoughts try to pull you back. Because here's the thing, every time you choose to ignore the doubts, every time you choose to focus on what you can do, you build momentum, and momentum is powerful. As you start to recognize your thoughts and choose to focus on the positive, you'll notice that the negative thoughts start to lose their power. They become weaker, and your ability to stay focused on your goals becomes stronger. Your mind will start to shift from being your worst enemy to being your greatest ally. And when that happens, there's no limit to what you can accomplish. Your mind is powerful. It has the ability to create or destroy, to build up or tear down. But the key to unlocking its true power is learning how to control it. Once you understand that your thoughts don't define you, once you learn how to intentionally feed your mind with empowering information, you'll start to see a shift. Your mind will work with you, not against you. It will help you stay focused on your goals, help you stay motivated, and help you take action toward the life you want. But it all starts with this: you have to take responsibility for your thoughts. You have to take responsibility for the way you think, the way you react, and the way you respond to the challenges you face. When you take control of your mind, you take control of your life. And when you take control of your life, anything is possible. So remember, your mind can be your greatest asset, or it can be your greatest obstacle. But the choice is yours. Take control of your thoughts, feed your mind with positivity, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. When you master your mind, you master your destiny. Chapter 7. The one skill that will change your life forever. The path to transformation isn't hidden. It's right in front of you, waiting for you to take that first step. Every single day, you have the opportunity to unlock your true potential, to move closer to the person you're meant to be. But there's one thing that separates the dreamers from the achievers, and that's a skill that, when mastered, will change your life forever: focus. We hear about it all the time. We know it's important, but very few truly understand the magnitude of its power. Focus is the key to success, the difference between achieving your goals and letting them slip away. If you want to turn your dreams into reality, it all begins with the ability to focus. So many people spend their lives chasing after what they want, only to find themselves falling short. The reason: they've never learned the most important skill they'll ever need: focus. Sure, they have the drive, the ambition, the desire to succeed, but without the ability to keep their attention on what matters, all of that energy is scattered. It's like trying to run a race while constantly looking behind you. You'll never get to the finish line if you keep taking your eyes off the prize. The truth is, without focus, you're wandering aimlessly, hoping that one day you'll magically reach your destination. But let me tell you something: the only way to get where you want to go is by locking in on your goals, eliminating distractions, and channeling your energy into the actions that will move you forward. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by chance. They didn't get there by working on everything at once, or by spreading themselves thin. They got there by mastering the art of focus. They knew that in order to achieve something extraordinary, they needed to pour their attention into it. They learned that success isn't about doing a million things at once.
It's about doing the right things consistently. They learn to focus on their vision, their purpose and their goals, blocking out the noise and distractions that would pull them off course. But here's where most people fall short. They think they can multitask their way to success. They think that juggling 10 different things at once is the key to getting ahead. But the truth is, multitasking is a lie. It doesn't help you get more done. It just spreads you too thin. When you try to focus on too many things, you end up giving less than your best to everything. And when you give less than your best, you can never expect to achieve greatness. Focus requires you to say no to the distractions, to turn away from the things that don't serve your goals, and to put all of your energy into what truly matters. This isn't about being busy, it's about being intentional. There's a powerful difference between being busy and being productive. Busy people have a lot of things going on, but productive people know exactly what to focus on to move the needle forward. When you master the skill of focus, you stop wasting time on the unimportant and start putting your effort where it counts. You start moving toward your goals with purpose, clarity and confidence. You begin to realize that every small decision, every action, and every moment of your time is either bringing you closer to your goals or pulling you further away from them. When you choose to focus on what truly matters, you begin to see results. You begin to build momentum, and that momentum will carry you through even the toughest of times. So how do you develop the skill of focus? It starts by training your mind. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, emails, notifications, and constant noise make it hard to keep your attention on one thing for very long. But here's the thing, you can train yourself to block out the noise. It's not about eliminating distractions entirely. It's about learning to ignore them when you need to and putting your attention on what truly matters. You have to become intentional with your time, with your energy, and with your focus. This means setting clear priorities and creating an environment that supports your goals. It means saying no to things that don't align with your vision and staying committed to the work that will get you closer to where you want to go. One of the most powerful ways to build focus is by setting clear, actionable goals. When you have a vision of where you're going, it's much easier to stay focused, but the key is to break that vision down into smaller, manageable steps. Focus is built through action, not just through thinking about what you want to do. The more you act on your goals, the more focused you'll become. The more you focus, the more you'll accomplish. And as you accomplish more, you'll feel the satisfaction that comes with progress, which will further fuel your desire to stay focused. Another important aspect of focus is managing your energy. Focus isn't just about your mental attention, it's also about your physical energy. If you're not taking care of your body, getting enough rest, eating well and exercising, your ability to focus will suffer. Your body and your mind are deeply connected, and when you neglect one, you're also neglecting the other. You have to nourish both in order to be at your best. When you're physically energized, you can direct that energy into your work, your relationships, and your goals. And when you're mentally sharp, your focus will be stronger, allowing you to accomplish more in less time. But don't get it twisted, focus doesn't mean you have to work all the time. In fact, some of the most successful people in the world have learned the power of rest and recovery. Focus is about being intentional with your time and your energy, and that includes knowing when to step away and recharge. Sometimes, taking a break is the most focused thing you can do. It allows you to return to your work with a fresh perspective, renewed energy, and a clearer mind. So focus isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter, knowing when to push and when to rest. When you begin to master the skill of focus, everything starts to change. Your productivity skyrockets.
your goals become more achievable. Your sense of direction becomes clearer and your confidence grows. You stop feeling overwhelmed and you start feeling in control, and that's when the magic happens. That's when the things you've always dreamed of begin to come to fruition. Success doesn't come from luck, it comes from focus. It comes from choosing where to put your energy, where to put your time, and where to put your attention. When you get that right, there's nothing that can stop you. Focus is your superpower. It's the one thing that will change everything for you. And once you realize how powerful it is, you'll never let anything distract you again. Focus isn't just a skill, it's the secret to unlocking your full potential, and it's the key to achieving everything you've ever wanted.
Chapter 8. Your future depends on one thing: how well you can focus. Success is a series of choices, and every choice you make right now will determine what your future looks like. The power you have to shape your life is within your grasp. It's all about how well you can focus on what truly matters. It's not about waiting for the perfect opportunity or hoping that life will magically align for you. It's about understanding that your future is built on the actions you take today. If you can focus on the right things, if you can put your energy into what matters most, there's nothing stopping you from creating the future you've always dreamed of. It's easy to get caught up in the distractions of life. Every day we face a flood of decisions, tasks, and challenges that pull our attention in 1,000 different directions. But here's the truth that no one tells you: your future depends on how well you can focus. Not just on the big picture, but on the small daily actions that will lead you to that bigger vision. If you want a future full of success, fulfillment, and impact, you need to start by focusing on what matters most right now. It's in the choices you make, the habits you build, and the mindset you adopt today that will determine the trajectory of your life. Think about the people who inspire you most, those who've achieved incredible things, those who've made a mark on the world. Do you think they got to where they are by simply floating through life? No, they got there by being intentional. They focused on the actions that would get them closer to their goals, even when it wasn't easy. They understood that every small decision compounded over time, creating momentum that would eventually lead them to success. The key to their success wasn't just their talent or luck. It was their ability to focus on the right things, day in and day out. And that's something you can do too. You have the same ability to create that momentum in your own life, to focus on what's important, and to build the future you want. It all starts with your mindset and your ability to focus on what truly matters. It's not enough to simply set a goal and hope for the best. You have to develop the discipline to focus on that goal, to take consistent, deliberate actions toward it every single day. The truth is, most people fail not because they aren't capable, but because they aren't willing to stay focused long enough to see their vision through. It's easy to get distracted by shiny new things, by the endless noise and constant bombardment of information that surrounds us. But the people who succeed are the ones who can tune all of that out and stay locked in on their mission, no matter how hard it gets. They understand that every step they take, no matter how small, is one step closer to the future they want to create. When you can focus on your goals with clarity, you unlock a level of power that most people never tap into. This power is the ability to make decisions with purpose, to take action without hesitation, and to stay the course even when things get tough. The key is not just to set a goal and wait for it to happen. It's about doing the work, day in and day out, consistently and relentlessly. The people who reach their goals aren't the ones who work the hardest, they're the ones who focus the longest. They know that every step counts, and they stay laser-focused on the path ahead, even when the journey gets difficult. You might not see the results right away,
But that's the beauty of focus. It's cumulative. Every day you wake up and choose to focus on what matters, you're building momentum. You might not notice it immediately, but over time your efforts compound. Each small step you take adds up to something much bigger than you can see in the moment. Success doesn't happen overnight. It happens because you chose to stay focused, to keep going when others would have quit. When you keep your eyes on the prize, when you refuse to be distracted by the noise and the setbacks, that's when the magic happens. Your future starts to take shape, and everything begins to fall into place. The truth is, there are only a few things that truly matter in life. We spend so much time chasing after things that don't serve us, things that won't move us closer to our goals. But when you learn to focus, you start to see through the distractions. You begin to recognize what's important and what's not. You begin to realize that your time, your energy, and your attention are your most valuable assets. And when you choose to invest those assets in what truly matters, you create the future you've always dreamed of. So how do you start focusing on your future? It begins by being honest with yourself. What are the things that really matter to you? What are the goals that will move you forward? Take a step back and look at your life right now. Are you spending your time on things that will bring you closer to your vision, or are you allowing distractions to pull you off course? The good news is, it's never too late to start. You have the power to refocus, to realign your actions with your goals, and to make the changes necessary to create the future you want. The future isn't something that just happens to you, it's something that you create. And the key to creating it lies in your ability to focus. When you focus on what matters, you gain clarity. When you gain clarity, you make better decisions, and when you make better decisions, you start building the life you've always wanted. You have the power to make your future what you want it to be, but you have to take action, and you have to stay focused. Focus isn't just a skill, it's the foundation of success. It's what allows you to take your dreams and turn them into reality. So if you want a future filled with success, fulfillment and meaning, it starts with one thing: focus. Focus on the things that matter. Focus on the steps you need to take. Focus on your vision and stay committed to it, no matter what. Your future depends on it. And the good news is, it's in your hands. You just have to choose to focus. Chapter 9. Here's what's destroying your focus, and you don't even know it. You're standing at the edge of something incredible. The potential you have to transform your life is sitting right in front of you. All it takes is the willingness to face what's been holding you back and start taking action in a way you never have before. You see, when it comes to focus, there's something sneaky that most people don't realize is quietly sabotaging their progress. It's not the obvious distractions like social media or a noisy environment. No, it's deeper than that. It's the small, subtle forces that you don't even see. They're affecting your focus every day, and they're keeping you stuck. One of the most powerful forces that destroys your focus is the endless stream of input you allow into your mind. In today's world, we're bombarded with information from all directions. The moment we wake up, we're checking our phones, scanning the news, and seeing what everyone else is up to. It's like a constant flow of data coming at you, and if you're not careful, it's easy to get swept away in the current. You've got to recognize that the more you let this information flood your mind, the less room you have for your own thoughts. Your ability to focus gets drowned out by the noise. And when the noise takes over, it pulls you further away from your goals, from your purpose. The thing is, most people don't even realize they're doing it. They think they're staying informed or connected, but in reality, they're feeding into a habit that weakens their ability to focus. The truth is,
You have to be deliberate about what you let into your mind. You have to guard your attention like the most valuable asset it is. Because the more distracted you are by the constant chatter and the less time you spend on what truly matters, the harder it becomes to focus on the things that will move you forward. And when you're not focused on what's important, your dreams remain out of reach. One of the biggest distractions, though, is not external, it's internal. It's the noise inside your own mind. The self-doubt, the fear, the worry, those little voices that tell you that you're not good enough, or that it's not going to work out. These thoughts eat away at your ability to focus. They take your energy and scatter it in 1,000 different directions, leaving you feeling drained and unsure of what to do next. It's almost like your mind is constantly fighting against you. But here's the thing, these thoughts are not facts. They are simply habits that have been formed over time. The more you let them control you, the more they take over your ability to focus on the things that matter. It's not just about pushing through the distractions, it's about recognizing them, understanding them, and then consciously choosing not to let them define your actions. When you acknowledge that these thoughts are not your reality, you can start to regain control. It's like turning the volume down on that inner voice that keeps telling you to doubt yourself. It's about retraining your mind to focus on the things that matter, instead of allowing it to be hijacked by the noise. The key to breaking free from these distractions is awareness. You have to be aware of what's pulling your attention away, both internally and externally. It's so easy to get caught up in the hustle, the demands of the day, the social media feeds, the headlines, the constant barrage of opinions and notifications. But when you become aware of these distractions, you can start to take control of your time and your attention. You can choose where to direct your focus, and you can choose to stop giving your energy to things that don't serve you. It's not about cutting everything out. It's about making conscious decisions that align with your values and your goals. Another major distraction is the feeling that you have to be busy all the time. So many people get caught up in this idea that if they're not constantly doing something, they're falling behind. It's like a constant race to get more done, to tick more boxes off the to-do list. But here's the truth, being busy doesn't mean you're being productive. In fact, sometimes being overly busy is just another way to avoid the real work. The work that requires deep focus, the work that requires sitting with your thoughts and ideas, and the work that will truly move you closer to your goals. You've got to stop equating busyness with success. Instead, focus on being intentional with your time. What are you working on right now? What will move you closer to the life you want to create? That's where your energy needs to go. When you can learn to identify these distractions, when you understand how they're silently working against you, you start to regain control. And that's when the magic happens. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about focusing on the things that truly matter and cutting out the noise. The more you focus on what's important, the more your life will begin to change. It's that simple. Here's something to consider. When you eliminate distractions, you make room for the things that matter most. You make room for your goals, for your vision, for the actions that will bring you closer to where you want to be. The problem with distractions is that they make us feel like we're accomplishing something, when in reality, we're just spinning our wheels. We're not moving forward, we're not growing, and the more time you waste on distractions, the further away you get from the success you want. But when you focus your energy on the right things, you start to move in the direction you've always wanted to go. And that's when the momentum kicks in. That's when things start happening. Your ability to focus is the most powerful tool you have to transform your life. But you've got to protect it. You've got to guard it like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does.
If you don't control where your attention goes, distractions will steal your dreams. It's time to take charge. It's time to stop letting these subtle forces pull you off track. Focus on the things that matter. Focus on what will get you closer to your goals. And watch as your future begins to unfold right before your eyes. Chapter 10. What successful people do differently that you're not doing. Success is not a secret. It's a result of the decisions you make, the habits you form, and the actions you take every single day. Every day is an opportunity to get closer to the life you want, and every small decision matters. Yet, one of the biggest mistakes people make is waiting for the perfect moment to act. They think that success will come when the timing is right, when the stars align, or when they finally feel ready. But that perfect moment, it never comes. The truth is, you're never going to feel 100% ready. The key is to take action despite that feeling. The most successful people are not the ones who always feel prepared or have everything figured out. They are the ones who show up, take action, and keep moving forward, no matter how uncertain things seem. They understand that progress doesn't come from waiting around for the perfect moment. It comes from taking small steps every day, consistently, even when they don't feel like it. And that's where most people go wrong. They wait for that ideal condition, for everything to fall into place, and in doing so, they rob themselves of the chance to move forward. Success, growth, and real progress come when you push through the uncertainty and just get started. The most powerful thing you can do right now is to take action, even if you're not sure of every step ahead. In fact, not knowing every step is part of the process. You have to be willing to step into the unknown, to embrace the discomfort of not having it all figured out. That's where the magic happens. The more you take action, the clearer things will become. It's like starting a journey where the path doesn't fully reveal itself until you begin walking. But the more you walk, the more you learn, and with each step, the next one becomes clearer. So, why do people hesitate? Why do they wait for that perfect moment that never comes? It's simple. Fear. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of failure. Fear of looking foolish. The fear of taking the wrong step can paralyze you. But what most people don't realize is that fear is not a sign that you should stop. In fact, fear is often a sign that you're on the right path. If you're feeling afraid, it probably means you're stretching beyond your comfort zone, and that's exactly where you need to be. Because growth doesn't happen in the comfortable, predictable spaces. It happens in the unknown, in the places that make you feel a little uncomfortable. But here's the thing, once you take action, you'll start to build momentum. Action leads to momentum, and momentum is what propels you forward. The longer you wait to take action, the longer it will take to build that momentum. But once you get started, it's like pushing a heavy boulder. At first it's hard to get it moving, but once it starts to roll, it gains speed, and it becomes easier to keep going. The key is to start, no matter how small the first step is, just begin. And you know what? You will make mistakes. You will encounter obstacles along the way. You will face setbacks. But that's all part of the process. Those mistakes are not failures, they are learning opportunities. Every mistake you make, every obstacle you face, is teaching you something valuable. It's showing you what doesn't work and giving you the information you need to adjust and move forward. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. Without failure, you wouldn't learn. Without mistakes, you wouldn't grow. So many people get stuck in the idea that if they fail, it's the end. They let their mistakes define them. But the most successful people see failure as simply a part of the journey. They learn from it, adapt, and keep going. They understand that the real failure comes from never trying at all. The key to success is not in avoiding mistakes, it's in making sure you don't stop because of them. Every mistake is a step forward if you learn from it. Now, let's talk about consistency. Success doesn't happen overnight, and the journey is not always going to be smooth. There will be times when you feel like giving up. There will be times when things get tough, and you wonder if all the effort is worth it. But it is during those tough moments that your consistency will carry you through. Success isn't about being perfect every day. It's about showing up and doing the work, day after day, even when it feels like nothing is happening. The reason most people don't achieve their goals is because they give up too soon. They try for a little while, but when they don't see immediate results, they quit. But success requires persistence. It requires sticking with it even when it feels like nothing is changing. It requires showing up even when you don't feel like it. And that's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. The people who succeed are the ones who stay committed to their goals, even when it's hard, even when they don't see immediate results. They understand that success is not an event, it's a process. It's a long journey that requires dedication and effort every single day. You need to understand that every day counts. Every small effort you make, every little action you take, is building towards something bigger. The consistency of those small efforts will compound over time and lead to massive results. But if you're not willing to keep going, even when you don't feel like it,